man, look at that little svelte, tight Asian body in the thumbnail. Nice little clickbait. But, oh, anyway, as I was saying, this video here is about passport bros, the men who go overseas looking for wives, looking for girlfriends, in fact, on the matter. And why it is Western women kind of hate seeing this sort of thing take place. This gentleman here, he is much nicer about it than I believe most other men in his position would be, but he gets into the details of it, and I think it is an important topic that we can go over here on the differences between the Western woman, the Americanized woman. Oh, you need this, you need that, 6 figures, 6 foot. That type of gal, and what you might encounter in other countries who haven't been exposed to it yet. The Western plague hasn't moved over. Let's take a look.
Hey everyone, it is me again. I've had to restart this video a couple times, but that's all right. If you're new to the channel, my name is Corey. My wife's name is Raquel. We live in the Philippines. I'm originally from Chicago. She lived with me in Chicago for a couple years. She's not gonna actually be in most of this video. I just
want to say, real cut in here. You can see right through that crop in his hair. I mean, look at that. You can see as someone maybe similar position at one time. You need to let it go, Cora. You need to let it go.
Walked over here with her coffee, and I'm like, that's fine.
Coffee, it's tablia with milk, like chocolate. It relaxes me.
How dare she interrupt some white man? A Western white man gets interrupted?
My mind and my soul.
Okay, I don't know what tablia is, but anyways, I don't ask questions. So, that's all right.
Sorry guys, I'm not supposed to be in this video, but I'm here because I'm a Filipina.
She said moral support, so anyways.
Moral support to Passport Bro.
Yeah, anyway, so I wanted to do a video on being a Passport Bro after 10 years. I do want to say I don't really care for that term. Veterans have been going to other countries, Japan, Korea, Thailand, the Philippines, all over South America, and been getting married for 30, 40, 50 years they're still happy. So I don't really like the new phrase for it, but either way, that's how everyone is phrasing it. So regardless, I've now been one for, just about 10 years, which is why I think.
Now, how old does she look anyway? How old is he?
I'm qualified to talk about this topic.
Yeah, I wonder what the age gap is between those. Let me just add up. What the age gap is between them.
Here I am 10 years later, and I wasn't really ever planning on making this video because I didn't really think it was something that needed to be talked about, honestly, but I actually wanted to starting the...
Oh, it definitely does. When the new crop of men come up, and it's become quite a popular thing. So popular, in fact, that I see on the forums and things, other men complaining that passport bros, which are really more desperate men with a little bit of money going overseas, hoping they can get a quick bang out of the trick of some of the foreign women to think they can perhaps get a green card. And they think they are infiltrating the foreign countries and turning the women to be more westernized. I don't know if that's all the case or how many passport bros are even going over there. Probably going to a bunch of hookers or something.
The last week or two, because I've come to realize, so after having this channel now for 3.5 or 4 years now, I've gotten, not exaggerating here, you can look at the videos, but not thousands of positive comments, but tens of thousands of positive comments. Corey, you've done it right. Corey, you're living a great life. Corey, you look so happy. You're smiling more. You're enjoying life. You guys are always laughing together. It's all this positivity, and I love.
One thing to note on that is, of course, social media. You have the ability to skew your perception. You choose what to post or not. So,
Love that. I really do. Can't stress that enough. But then every so often I'll get a negative comment, which happens on every YouTube channel. So that doesn't get to me or bother me. But I've noticed it's always the same 2 or 3 things. And I mean, here we are 4 years later, it will still be the same couple of things. So I'm going to address those things really quickly because I don't want to talk about the negative things, especially when they're not even real. And then go.
Now, before he gets into it, what is it that you think? What is it that you people think would be the negatives for a man going overseas looking for a wife or a girlfriend, some kind of relationship? What would the 2 or 3 top potential downfalls, cons, negatives, whatever you want to refer to them as? What do you think they might be? Drop it down in the comments, as they say. Drop it in the comments. Give me the algorithm features down there. Oh, share and like. God damn.
Go on to all the positive things about looking for a wife overseas. So I cannot stress the positive things about it enough, and none of the negatives turned out to be true. So that's why I wanted to do the video.
Again, this is one man's story with it. He probably has some others as well, but this is one.
I got a comment last week, actually, and he owned up to it, and he said he was sorry after. Usually they just stop responding or they stop commenting, but either way, it was the same number one comment I hear. Oh, she just cares about money. She just wants you for money. She's going to leave you when she has the money. That's all women care about. That's all women overseas care about in general. And I just kind of laugh. I read the comment. It doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, that's just the truth. It doesn't.
Now, in contrast with the westernized woman here, you see them a lot of times talk about they want the money. They have a lot of them college degrees, decent paying jobs and all that, so they don't like to really marry somebody who makes less than them, which starts this up the ante kind of game we see now, where women are a little more particular in who they are trying to shack up with because they make enough. A lot of them do anyway. They don't need to be there with a man. And mentally, it's difficult for them to want to be with somebody who earns less. It's like, oh, God, you disgusting little bottom feeder. I got to take care of you. Big mama here got to take care of you. Big mama don't like that.
Because you can't support that or back that up. Anyone that knows my wife knows she doesn't ask me for money because she doesn't care about financial things. And I can't stress that enough. So every year for her birthday, she does the same thing. She doesn't want anything for herself. Never has, never asked for anything. She wants to buy food and then give it away for people that have less. And that's what we do on her birthday every year. We vlog it. And then when it comes down to Christmas time.
Does this seem like a made-up story? No, I'm sure it's probably true. It's plausible, isn't it? They come from a good, caring family. She's not a big, gormand, fat pig woman either, so it makes more sense that she would give away some of the feed.
She doesn't want one present for herself. Nothing, because she has a nice house. And she lives a good life.
Don't believe a ready-to-eat meal can pack flavor.
Here we go with
nutrition?
another one.
Think again. I'll admit it.
Get
I was
past this,
skeptical
damn it.
about ready-to-eat.
What does she want? To go shopping and buy little kid toys so she can give it away to kids that don't have anything for Christmas. And I cannot find
Send it back
someone
home
like
to a
that
secret
back in the
family.
West. It's basically impossible. I'm not saying a woman like that doesn't exist, but finding one that is wholesome, has traditional values, wants to care for her husband, and she's actually attractive, all in the same package, it's just unheard of. I mean, I'm sorry, it just... I looked for 15, 20 years, 10, 15 years, whatever, couldn't find it. And that's what kind of woman I found. So when we were dating, she asked me the important things, what my religion was. How did I care about animals? How often did I call my mom? You know, who was my oldest friend? She was asking me all these things that should matter in a man or a spouse. She didn't say how much was in your 401k, how much do you make? She never even asked me what kind of car I drove, because she didn't care, okay? So that's the difference from the dates I would go on in the West.
Now, I think that would seem quite skeptical, or men in the West would be skeptical to hear that, of a woman who's not entertaining those kind of questions, because you think, oh, well, do they just care about the personality, who your character is? Maybe she could see, maybe he pulled up in a yacht, picked up on the side of the sea, who knows what.
And right away I would know they're trying to figure out your status and if you can elevate them or raise them up, or a woman that just wants to know if you're a good person or overall. So that negative comment.
Well, you got to think about it. He said the women, he was looking for a certain type that he wanted with certain physical traits to them. So you can't really blame the women in reverse. They want somebody who can elevate the lifestyle a little bit, and don't want you to be a big, fat, chubby slob at the same time. So I don't fault him for it.
When he said that, I just laughed and I explained these things to him, very shortly and briefly. And I said, my wife went to college. She went to school for business. She owns investment land for coconut harvesting because it's in the Philippines where we live. So people go and harvest coconuts and they pay her. She doesn't even have to do anything. She's very smart. That's a great investment. And when I said this to him, like, she's not asking me for income. She has income. He just, oh, wow. I didn't know that, Corey. That's great to hear. Okay. Well, and then he jumps into the second negative thing that I hear often. As soon as she gets to the States, as soon as she gets a visa or a green card.
Green card hunter.
Thing is, as soon as she gets back to the West, you guys won't last 1 month and she's going to leave you. And that's the second thing that I'll always hear from the negative people.
Right? Well, to allay some fears there, the men, a little bit, slightly, tiny, a wee little bit. The women here have to pass the green card test. Marriage has to be sustained for a certain number of years, and if they try to get divorced right after, it looks a little suspicious on the green card applications here. So it's not quite so, as soon as you hit this date, see ya. They can try it, but it's not a guarantee.
Right? And I start laughing again. I'm like, every one of my friends that are back in the States with their wives are genuinely happy, and their wife did not take off on them. All the guys I know that then moved over here, they're still happy with their wives. So I very nicely commented to him, can you show me a statistic to back that up? Because if you look at our YouTube channel at the beginning, you'll see that my wife has been with me for years. Not only that, she lived with me in the States for years. Years. Not like 1 month, not 3 months, not 6, not 1 year. She lived with me in the States for years. Didn't run off. Didn't care when she got a visa or anything else. She wanted to be a wife. She loved me. She wanted to take care of me, and she wants me to love her in return. And then
what a romantic
we moved
story.
to the Philippines, which was always our long-term plan. So as soon as I said that to him, watch my earlier videos, and you'll see that we lived in the States. A little while later, I think it was the following morning, he responds, oh, I didn't notice that, Corey. Wow, that's amazing to hear. Now, this happens to be once a week, because the negative comments are always the same and they're never accurate, right? They're not true. So, I just kind of shrugged it off and laughed, of course. But yeah, the negative things, which are two of the primary things that you'll hear, or someone will say, give it 10 years and she'll be lazy and gain weight. And I'm like, well, it's been 10 years and her waist is the same size. So she takes care of herself. And
also 10 years of relationship with anybody. I mean, what does the average marriage even last for these days here? So to say a time horizon of 10 years, many things can go wrong in there. Least of all, a little bit of fat around the gut, which is unacceptable for the women. Men, sure, you can get a little fatter. That's fine. You can chub out, eat the candy, in fact, the men should be getting fatter due to the wife's cooking. And that is specifically because she wants to fatten up the husband, make him a little less appealing to other women. That's kind of a defense mechanism that women enjoy. They want to plump you up a little, get you nice and relaxed on that. Get you drunk on the carbs, pass out on the couch. You can't be out running wild on the streets now, looking for other sleuts.
We're healthy, so that's not true, because you can't back that up.
But women got to stay thin, goddammit.
From our first video to now, her waist is either the same size or it's probably even an inch or two smaller. So that's not true either. So again, all the negative things I heard about being a passport bro or what could happen that were bad did not turn out to be true. None of them. All the positive things did turn out to be true, though, because here I am 10 years later and she still loves me. She still takes good care of me. I don't honestly know where anything is in the kitchen. And I laugh about this because she enjoys cooking. She loves it. So every day for lunch and every day for dinner and so on, she's making great meals and bringing it over to the table, and she's happy about that.
See? Trying to fatten him up there, trying to butter him up. And now he's been keeping in good shape here, you can tell, but her efforts have not declined. That's why she is probably cooking even more for him now.
That's what she wanted to do. She wanted to be a wife, and she enjoys that. And she didn't stop doing it. She didn't give up when we got married. Again, now that we've been together for just a little under 10 years, haven't hit the 10-year mark, but she still never asked me what my income actually is or where my savings is. She still never asked me about 401k because she doesn't care about those things. Seriously, I cannot stress it enough. She's happy we have a roof over our head. We have 3 meals a day and we met each other. Okay, I want you to grasp that and think about it for a minute. We're back in the West.
Tonight, be the first to see Freakier Friday.
Another one here, damn it.
Daughter.
I'm freaking out.
Bring your
He's
mother.
funding this
I just
foreign
could
wife with
not
all these
find
ads.
It was impossible, let alone finding a good, wholesome person inside of an attractive, slender figure. I'm trying to be very politically correct and polite here.
See?
You know, finding all those positive features in an attractive woman was just impossible. When I looked up the statistics, it was like 0.03%. If I put in everything that I was looking for, it was not realistic. So
You see? He wanted certain traits in a woman with a certain figure that he got overseas. You couldn't find it here in the States. So, now new women, do we give them any credit now when they want certain things? And they say, well, that's only 0.1%, but I deserve it. Well, he had the option to go somewhere else and find more of an abundance of what he was looking for. Now, those women who are after the same things and they themselves do not fall into that category of the men seeking out that type, where can they go? You don't hear of American women going overseas somewhere, some mythical country, and spotting all these billionaires waiting to snatch them up. But with passport bros, it's very common for them to leave, seeking a type of woman, and finding it over there. It's very common. Which would have you believe, from a rational, logical point of view, that perhaps what the men are looking for is not really all that outlandish. And that the women over here are the ones with the wild standards. Because if you can't point to anywhere on the globe, the whole goddamn planet, you can't point to one and say, look here, you can get it here, we get it there. We just got, come on, passport girls, let's go. You can't do that. So if the standard is not being met anywhere on the planet, what does that tell you? Are you delusional or righteously picky? I
was like, okay, this is just never going to happen. I have to actually go somewhere else. And I've had a few people say, well, it's got to be a lot harder to find someone overseas if you're going to, look into being a passport bro. And the truth is, it's not harder. And when I say that, I want you to think about it. If you go on a dating app, which is how I think it's like 90 or 95% of the people still meet nowadays, how long are you going to look to find that person? Most people are on there for 1-2 years. They'll keep going on a lot of dates, 1, 2, 3 dates with the same girl, and then they're back on the dating app. It doesn't work out, and they don't find the list of things they're looking for. Where as soon as you go overseas, and I'm not saying just the Philippines, plenty of friends that are married, living in Thailand, happy. I have a bunch of buddies in Vietnam doing that, and they love life. Or they're back in the States with their Thai or Filipino wife or Vietnamese wife, and they're still happy. So it's not, I don't want to say it's just the Philippines, but either way, if you go onto the dating app over here, okay, and you start looking for a wife, you will find 5 a day that fit the things you're looking for every day.
5 a day is quite an advertisement.
Your inbox is going to have 50 messages, and you're scratching your head thinking, this is absurd. As opposed to the West, where the girl is getting 50 messages for every one guy she actually responds to.
That might be a little low ball estimate as well. So again, you're playing into the numbers game, going somewhere else to increase your odds. And then they belittle that sort of person, say, oh, you're not good enough to get the women in the West here. And that, anybody who would say that in itself proves the point. You are supplying the answer to why they're going with that elitist attitude you've got.
And you're not happy with what you get. You're looking at the leftovers I'm not even going to get into my opinion on all that, but either way, it's not harder. It's just not harder. It's much easier. So I've had someone say it's got to be more expensive. And, you know, the truth is, at first, I thought it would be more expensive. I did. But after calculating me and my wife, like chatting on FaceTime, which doesn't cost anything, for a couple months, getting to know each other for an hour or two every day, there's no money involved. And then I had a vacation plan to come over here for 3 weeks. So I added up the flight and the hotel and like the food, which, by the way, the hotel was the Philippines. It was less than $20 a night. Meals are costing me $3 to $7, okay, because we're not going out in like Cebu or Manila. It would be cost more.
But you do get that initial time investment where you could be getting bamboozled by who knows what happening on these voice things, so you don't necessarily get to see the woman in her native environment, what she's actually like. You could spend all this time, go over there, and it's a waste. So there's a trade-off. You don't get anything in the immediacy. There's no guarantee that she's not out gallivanting around, so it requires a bit of caginess, a bit of vetting going on.
But the point being is, I took those months that we got to know each other and then the vacation, and if I was dating a girl back in the West, it would have cost me double. So,
now, having said that, if you think about it, in the older days of courtships and all that, it wasn't just, hey, are you Sally? Oh, yeah, I'm Jeffrey. Let's go bang in the back alley. Now, we've met after a dinner date. It wasn't like that. There would be a slower getting to know process in general here. It wouldn't just be meet and you got to suck the hog in the first date or two. Otherwise, I'm done with you because you did that 10 times last week. So it seems a little unusual to the modern day mind, but not even that long ago. Women just, the current hookup culture, the current culture in it, women are seen as they need to get down and dirty right away. And that's not been the case for how many centuries going on here. It just wasn't wise for them to do that. It wasn't, no birth control, protection, that sort of thing. So it didn't make any sense from a biological, from a safety perspective, all sorts of things. So going online and slow playing them that way, meeting them on there, getting the personality first. Maybe she can send you some dirty picture, something you can get off to. Who knows what? You can work out something. What I'm saying to you boys is it's not all that bad just because the P opening is not available to you immediately. You need to have, in fact, that for a lot of you, that's probably a benefit. You need to have that time to assess what it is you're actually doing and who is it with. If you get googly eyes over the womanly holes right away, then that clouds the judgment. Now, on the same token, you don't want to be faking it along just to get a chance at it. That's where the desperation comes in. You need to be aware of the situation, not desperate, and jerk it off at least 2-3 times a day just to avoid that. Anytime before you speak, you need to get that taken care of. Just unclog the pipes. Otherwise, you'll probably plan a trip going down to Antarctica, who knows what, going into Brazil and the gangland, getting robbed and killed and all that, just because you thought, oh God, look at this girl with a photoshopped filter on her. Yeah. Don't be doing this nonsense, boys. Come on now, be a little smart about it.
I want you to think about that, like a flight in a hotel over a course of like 4 months or 5 or 6 months compared to going to the movies and dinner and buying her things. It's not cheap. It's not more expensive to look abroad. It's cheaper. I can't stress that enough. When you factor in all those things, trust me, it's a lot cheaper and it makes sense. You guys know what it costs to go out to decent restaurants. I'm not even saying expensive ones, but decent ones. I mean, I remember when we lived in the States, I took her to the movies and she didn't notice the movie ticket cost because that's not too bad. She's looking at the snacks and she's just like, I don't understand. We could have gone to a 4-star resort with a buffet for cheaper back in the Philippines. I'm like, I know. We got like popcorn and water and stuff. Again, point being is if you're thinking it's going to cost you more, it's not. Okay. So again, the negative things that I heard about it, none of them turned out to be true, but all the positive things are. Okay, she's still a loyal and loving wife that takes care of me. If I sit on the couch and I like move my ankle or my foot or something, she'll be like, "Oh, honey, is your ankle okay? Oh, let me lift up your foot." And she'll put it on the couch. "Let me rub it. Everything's all right." And I'm like, "Yeah, everything's okay, honey." And she'll be,
So what I like about this lad here is that when he talks about the wife, you see what care and nature he has, the positive traits he says about her. They're not the superficial, oh God, look at that body on, oh yeah, I like to. It shows a more interesting dynamic, I think, when interrelationship wise. They have a nice, cozy, pleasant demeanor to one another.
"Go, let me elevate it." And she'll put a pillow underneath it, and I just kind of smile. I'll sit down. She'll start combing my hair for me because I won't particularly spend a lot of time doing it. But she's a very attentive, good wife. I mean, that's the truth. Here we are, just about 10 years later. She still never asked me for a purse, a watch. She has no interest in driving
Good
or getting a
Lord.
car. She doesn't care for that. None of the negative things are true. And she's still happy and
Should
positive.
ride a bike.
I want you to understand something. I would take a polygraph, okay? I'll look for one in the Philippines, and I'll write down all the questions. You guys can give me the questions. And you'll laugh because here we are, like I said, just a little under 10 years later. She still has never yelled at me. She's never given me an attitude. She's never sworn at me. She's never called me a name. She's never insulted me. And it's been 10 years. She's a smiling, happy, friendly person.
All right.
Mythical land
ready.
sounds like he is talking about the mythical woman.
And to her, like breaking up or getting a divorce, like when people make those comments online, she's actually like offended by it because to her that's a sin. And divorce isn't even okay over here. It's not really accepted at all. It's actually illegal, so they don't even do it. She wasn't brought up to believe in that. Her parents have been married for, I should probably know this. I'm going to guess 40 to 45 years.
Well, there you go, boys. We'll probably wrap it up here. Go down to the comments real quick, but I think we're getting the idea of what it is like for the passport bro over there. Let's see. Rachel's very sweet. I see how she treats kindness in animals. I wonder how you're going to see positivity. You've chosen well. Sometimes the good guys actually win. I got divorced at 36 and did the dating thing for around 5 years. It was awful. All the good girls had been taken a long time ago. I met a lovely Filipina online who joined me in NZ. If she was after my money, then she messed up because I didn't have any. We're now been married for 14 years. We both worked very hard, and we retired early to Manila last year. Well done there, Steve Pickett. People really don't pay attention to what's really happening. I've been watching your channel. I knew you and her lived in Chicago. She wanted to go back to Philippines. I know about her birthday and Christmas wishes, so when I heard these issues others were trying to make up, I already knew your answers. Anyone could see she loves you, and she's still adorable inside and out. A little perverted, but we'll let it go here, Billy's Wild. People are just jealous. You have a pretty good life. Wait, y'all been married 10 years and you still have this chemistry? That's actually incredible. I thought you guys were recently married based on her jokes and, well, y'all's chemistry. So anyway, viable option going overseas there. There's many women across the planet. I know the Western American gals, they hate to hear it. They hate to hear it because it kind of decreases their value. And if they get ignored and replaced by someone else coming in, they don't like it, but there's not much they do like. So, as always, we're here just ranting at people, making fun of others, hoping to be made fun of ourselves. Leave a mean comment, rude, evil, what else you got? Subscribe, do that good junk. Ghostmas, gonna go back to playing the games here. I always do it. After these, I always go play the games. I de-stress after watching these wholesome videos, and I go and play the video games. I gotta go and get my championship belt back. Anyway, next time, we're gonna break out a good one.